all the experts seem to agree that China is going to surpass the United States as the global economic power. Or is it? In less than 20 years, China has witnessed one of the most profound periods of economic growth and development in history, with the nation's GDP rising from 1.2 trillion in 2000 to over 14 trillion today. And that's a growth of over 1,000%. This period of historic growth has transformed the country from a semi-feudalistic, impoverished nation into an emerging power with the second largest economy in the world. And many pundits, and of course the Chinese government, want us to believe that China is an unstoppable juggernaut, well on its way to becoming a superpower capable of rivaling the United States, both economically and militarily. But behind the curtain of rising skyscrapers, superhighways, and aircraft carriers, things aren't as solid as they appear. But why is China not as strong as the Communist Party claims? Well, for one thing, the Chinese government is slowly but surely inflating one of the largest housing bubbles in history, on a scale that dwarfs even the US housing market bubble of 2008. In China, you can regularly find homes that cost more than 40 times the average household income. In the United States, that figure is around 5 times. But a shaky housing market isn't the only issue for the Chinese economy. After decades of implementing a one-child policy, men now outnumber women by more than 34 million. And this gender imbalance is having a significant impact on Chinese economy, with tens of millions of apathetic young men being asked to work 70-hour work weeks while having little to no hope of having a family of their own. And that growing apathy is only matched by China's growing debt. Household debt has skyrocketed from 18% of China's GDP in 2008 to 61% in 2020. And that's despite the fact that China's GDP has nearly tripled over the last dozen years. So what do all of these policies have in common? They are a result of an authoritarian government engaging in central planning. And this is bad news for many advocates of central planning who desperately hope China was a shining example for how a communist model could produce a strong economy. But history tells us a different story. It was only after reformers rejected the heavy-handed policies of Mao that the Chinese economy started to improve. But old habits die hard, and as the communist regime begins to reassert its power over the economy, short-sighted policies by central planners are taking their toll, just as they have in the former USSR, Cuba, Venezuela, and a number of other examples. Here's the bottom line. Government central planners might kid themselves into believing that they have sufficient knowledge to micromanage the lives of hundreds of millions of people engaging in economic transactions every day. But history shows that free people making their own decisions about their lives produces far better results. And unfortunately, China is not the only place where central planners think they know best. Do you remember how lumber prices shot up through the roof earlier this year? We broke down some details on that so you could see how central planning helped increase the price of lumber by 200%. Which you can learn about by clicking on this video right here. And what's crazy is this catastrophe was created in part by policies from 50 years ago. I'm Nick Freitas with the Y-Minutes, where each week we examine and challenge the popular narratives of our time. If you'd like to learn more about our project and what we believe, you can watch this video right here. Be sure to visit the Y-Minutes channel on YouTube to like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe.